And good evening, everyone. ESS, Empire State Sports, and the Wise Guy Sports Talk Show has an interesting interview tonight with a young lady from Malone and Franklin Academy. But first, our host tonight, Joey Riom, Dave Barlett, myself, Pete Goslaw, and our special guest, Madison Ansari. Madison, welcome to our program.
Thank you for having me.
So, Madison, so much to start with. We'll go through a few pointers, and then we'll let you do a little bio of yourself. You're from actually the Constable Malone area, and you are graduated from Franklin Academy Huskies. You are a 1,000-point basketball player, and you are headed to Texas A&M International, which is a Division II school. Am I correct?
Yes.
Why don't you give us a little background of the school that you're going to go to, if you could?
Okay. It's in Laredo, Texas, about 8 miles north of the border. Medium-sized school, I guess. I think there's like 7,000 students. Warm all the time. Great community. Love the people there. Very fun and vibrant place. That's all I got.
So did they recruit you, Madison, or did you go there? Or how many schools were knocking on your door?
They recruited me at first, and then I kind of died off a little, and then I reached out to them again, and then that kind of picked up the recruiting process again. I had a lot of New York schools looking at me. I had some from Arkansas and like one from West Virginia. It was kind of hard though with COVID, like kind of shut down the recruiting process a little bit.
Yeah, that kind of cut into your season last year also, point-wise also. You know, it affected everybody. How did you guys handle that and with your teammates and coach? Did everything go well as it could be?
It actually like flowed pretty well. I had a lot of fun this season. I know my teammates and coach did too. The masks were kind of a burden, but it happens. Everyone had to do it. So, I mean, it flowed better than I was expecting.
It probably cut into your point total, though. It could have been probably a lot more than what you had. You ended up with a little over 1,000 points, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. I don't know the exact amount.
I had it written down here. I couldn't remember where I put it. I don't know where I had it. I put it down here.
You know, that's funny. The majority of 1,000-point scorers don't remember their total.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know mine.
We usually have like 20, 21 games this season. I think it was cut down to like 7 or 8 this year. Maybe.
Wow. So Madison, I got a question. Just out of curiosity, because we've talked to several college coaches, and we asked them about their recruiting process during COVID. So what was their recruiting process with you like?
The New York schools, I couldn't visit any campuses. I couldn't like talk to any of the players in person. It was mostly Zoom and like virtual tours. One coach did sneak me on campus. I won't say just in case I'm not trying to get in trouble. But so I think that's like why Texas was kind of more available because I could go there, and like Arkansas, I went and saw that school. So like basically anywhere but New York I could have seen, but it's hard to travel and COVID.
So now did the Texas coach or scout or anybody come to Malone to see you play?
No, it was film.
And video?
When I got to Texas for like the tour, I did play down there.
Okay. So did you put together like a highlight reel, or was it just game film that they watched?
I was on like a recruiting website. I think that's where they first saw me, and then afterwards I just sent them like whole game film. That's
okay.
What coaches want. It's just like the entire game film. So I sent them that, and then they offered me to come down and like talk to the school. coaches and players.
Interesting. Cool.
Did you want to get out of New York State, or just the opportunity wasn't really what you were looking for here in the state?
Wanted to go as far away as possible. Not because I don't like New York State, just because I wanted out. Just like see the place, see the world.
Well, you definitely got far enough away, that's for sure. Just Texas, it's quite a ways down there, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So your total points, according to this, was 1,017 points. I'm sure it was more than that. It's just that the one write-up that you had.
That was at the end of junior year.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how many I had this year.
Oh, okay.
At the end of the junior year.
Yeah, I'm just going by some totals that I saw online, so.
Well, Madison, how about talking a little bit about some of the people that you'd like to thank or helped you along your pathway, and let us know, who was important to you and helping you to get to this point in your life where you're going to be taking off here in a couple of weeks for a location that you're going to make the wise guys have to pay attention. We'll have to do our homework and research for Laredo, Texas. So let us know who impacted you, helped you along the way to get there.
I mean, it all kind of started with Mark Flick. He started up Little League, I guess, kind of thing. And then my dad kind of took over from middle school era. And then, of course, Shelly Scalish, who's my main varsity coach, Sam Dumont, and then all my teammates, obviously. Yeah, couldn't have done it without them. My mom, my family, anyone who's ever supported me. The school, it was a good community, I guess, very supportive.
Well, Coach Flick is a very, very good friend of mine. He's been on this show. He helped me after he left Malone for a little while. He took a little break after his daughters left. He was actually my assistant coach for 3 years. So him and I, we golf all the time. I'll make sure this week when I play with him, I'll let him know that your show's coming up. But great to hear another name that we've interviewed that you mentioned. And what about your AAU experience? Can you talk a little bit about that? I know that you had to have played, you have to have played off-season ball. And did anything out of your off-season ball, your AAU ball, help you in getting to where you are at Texas A&M International, especially with the recruiting process? Did you ever get approached with anything with AAU stuff, or was it mostly your high school career that got you to where you are?
I'm thinking it was AAU, the help of high school, because AAU, I got out to bigger cities and states than Malone. I played with the Albany City Rocks for 5 months maybe, and a lot of coaches approached me with them because we went to Pennsylvania and Eastern Coast states, but not just up and around here. So that helped a lot with recruiting.
Well, and Albany City Rocks, that's probably one of our bigger AAU organizations in the state of New York. A lot of great names have played for that organization. So yeah, I was just curious about that because I know the AAU for Texas A&M International obviously you were on a recruiting website, but usually places like that, there's some AAU connections that probably go on. So helpful for any of our young listeners that are watching Madison right now and wonder about AAU. It can be handy if you get to the right locations and do the right things like Madison has. So what's workouts like right now, Madison? Don't tell me that you've been sitting around doing nothing, because did you say that you're taking off pretty soon? And if you are taking off pretty soon, are we on the court immediately when we get down there with some preseason stuff?
Mm-hmm. I leave August 7th, and then it's individual workouts up until August 21st, I believe, and that's when team starts. Right now I have all the workouts my coach is sending me, conditioning, our individual warm-up, what we're doing the first day of practice, which is mostly running, and some ball handling, shooting drills, stuff like that. He has expectations of how many shots we should get up a day and what we should be running a day, and weightlifting and stuff. He sent us all that.
Now, are you able to do that right at FA right now, or?
Currently doing it in my backyard. I have a net back here. I didn't know with like COVID, and we used to have to get like gym usage forms to player school, and then COVID hit and we couldn't really anymore. So I've been working out in my backyard, and then I lift weights with Randy Marshall. He's kind of like my trainer now, I guess. So he helps me get big and strong.
So you just haven't been sitting around playing video games. You've been actually going out and doing your workouts.
Mm-hmm. Have to. I can't fall behind.
No.
So how's mom and dad gonna watch you play this year?
It's live streamed, and I mean, if they want to take the trip to Texas, they can. And then it might be on TV. I know my coach said some things might be on TV. It depends where we play, but mostly live stream.
And what about, do you have any connection to anyone down there at all, be it a teammate, be it somebody that's local, a relative? Are you literally going to be down there by yourself, or is there somebody that you can lean on that's going to be local or somewhere within the state of Texas even?
I think I have some family in Louisiana, maybe, like some older members of my family, so I know them, but I don't really know them. So I'm kind of by myself in Texas.
So you're really on your own then.
Mm-hmm.
And you're excited about it. It's obvious. Okay. Well, I know we'll look forward to reading about you in the paper, hearing about what you're doing, and hopefully it all works out for you. Anybody else, anything else that you can think of that you'd like to say before we end this little interview?
Just work hard, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can tell you before we hand it back to Pete or Dave, if they have any more questions, I'll just say, Madison, you were at my gym a lot. I got to watch you play a lot and I always love playoff time because you always know Malone Messina is going to be in the Section 10 championship game for Class A. So I always knew I was going to watch it at Maxey Hall. And smooth player, and you could see it at a young age. I remember seeing it at Missy West's basketball camp, and you could just see that it was going to happen. So, to know that you're going to the Division II level, and we're recruited to a place in Laredo, Texas, from all the way from Northern New York, it probably will give a lot of hope to some kids out there. And maybe you'll get a knock on the door from somebody saying, hey, what were some of the things that you did that helped you out? Recruiting website. I don't think Pete and Dave and I have done a lot of interviews, and I haven't heard anybody talk about a recruiting website before. So for you to do that kind of research, do that kind of homework, good for you. And maybe somebody's going to learn something from this and say, hey, if I put my name on a recruiting website, a college from Laredo, Texas might look me up and say, we don't care that you live 2,000 miles away. So, good for you. And I Larry Nation and, everybody you played against here, we wish you the best.
Thank you very much.
I wish you the best of luck. I hope you find the time to be able to FaceTime your mom every night, like she.
I'm sure I'll have to.
I think that was one of her conditions, wasn't it?
Probably a must. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And hey, by the way, Mom is a St. Lawrence Central graduate, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. So okay, so there's a little bit of Larry. There's a little bit of Larry in you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, as much traveling as your dad's doing right now, I'm sure he'll find a way to get down to Texas.
Oh, yeah.
I got a funny feeling. So, Madison, we wish you nothing but the best here from the Wise Guys Sports Talk Show, and we hope that everything goes off without a click down there, and just the best of everything.
Thank you.
That's going to be it tonight here on ESS, Empire State Sports, and the Wise Guys Sports Talk Show. For Joey Riom, Dave Brellett, myself, Pete Goslaw, and our special guest, Madison Ansari from Franklin Academy headed to D2, Texas A&M International. Good night, everybody, and stay safe.